how much updating it's been,
Oh,
but
I
what
should
I,
have brought some sheets. This is just
I
our,
actually have this, I did it online, so I actually have
this
it.
is our webinar
Yeah.
sheets, that's, so I just
Okay.
brought it for my own.
okay. So, I have the, supposedly the 1829, and I have written some
Is that
questions.
this one?
You do?
Is that what
Is
you've
that
got?
it?
Yep.
Oh, it is.
That's just
Then maybe
piece of-
I did
that's
have
what
it.
it
I
was.
didn't
Yeah, no.
share this,
Did you guys attend the webinar?
On Zoom?
Yeah.
I did.
Some of us
Yeah.
did,
October?
yeah.
Yep.
But God only knows, there were so many questions that came out of it, Jamal, that
Yep.
I don't know.
That was one we were upstairs in your house.
Oh, that was the one?
That was.
And then we saw another one, is this the one? Yeah. And then we saw another one in the office in here that left a lot of questions too. But anyway, so how do you want to go about doing this? I have the, supposedly the law, it says, in the year of our Lord 2025, HP 1224 and LD 1829. Has it been updated since then?
No, that's signed into law.
Okay.
So that's
that-
what it is.
Okay, so I have some questions. So how do you, should I state what we're looking for? Oh, you probably know.
Sure,
what
can we
we're
do some
looking for.
intros too?
Oh,
would be
God, I'm
good.
sorry, I'm so glad.
No, we're gonna make you guess.
No.
Start that with Craig.
I'm Craig Delano, Code Enforcement.
Darrell Hubbard, Planning Board.
Grace Davis, Planning Board.
Joyce Foley, I'm chair of the planning board.
Victoria Kundashora, Planning Board.
So
Great.
we're all planning board members.
Okay.
And Pete?
I thought this was the select board, so.
No,
Nope.
they have nothing to do with this.
Okay. I'm Jamal Torres. I am the planning director at SMRDC. And I guess I'm here, Joyce
Mhm.
invited me to talk about the new housing legislation and next steps for Limington. So,
It's a relief that we don't have to have our ordinance updated until July of 2027.
yeah, July 1, 26 is
Everybody else.
really close.
Mm,
So I think the council governments are gonna be scrambling
yeah.
to get there. But at least the council can approve ordinance changes in that style of government.
Probably, but we're open town meetings.
Yeah, so that's why there's an extra year.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, what we would like from you is what changes we have to make in our ordinance to comply.
So I haven't had a chance to look through your ordinance.
You know, my computer was down for a while. Have you asked me for anything that I haven't sent
I
you?
asked for a copy of your latest zoning ordinance.
It was online, did you go online?
I was able to look between meetings.
Okay.
I haven't spent a lot of time.
Okay, so we
Um,
we can use this as an exchange of what we think we need answers to.
Okay.
And after you've talked with us, it might be that you can send us some more information, or if there are questions that don't get answered, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, next steps would be to figure out if you're interested in working with us on the
Obviously.
changes.
Yes.
And then we would create a schedule, scope of work, and fee
Okay.
for that work,
Oh, okay.
basically.
Now, what was the last update that we had?
LD 2003?
Yeah, yeah. That was very simple. Any changes in here? This
Is
is
that
our,
the-
this is our ordinance.
That was the affordable housing.
Yeah,
Have you,
we made those changes.
has any development come in since?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. We haven't had any development, no subdivisions, no.
Well, not approved yet.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Summer.
took advantage of LD 2003, have you seen any?
No.
Is anybody taking advantage of the, having two houses on one lot?
Not yet, no.
I don't think so.
Well, they do, the accessory dwellings is.
Yeah, accessory dwelling.
They're a little bit cheaper to do. and-
So what happens, Jamal, if we do have something come in prior to the adoption of this in 2027? Do the applicants still have to meet what our ordinance says, even though it doesn't comply with the state law yet? That's the confusing for us.
Technically, they should follow state law. But there is what I would call a grace period, where, since you don't have to adopt until
27.
27, technically, I mean, I would check with your attorney. I would suggest that you follow state law.
Well, that's, that can mean a lot of stuff between in the next year.
Why? It's pretty simple what you gotta do.
Well, two of those laws that really ain't really too pertinent to us anyway. One of
No,
them is
some
you
of
can
them-
build in the commercial zone where we already allow
Yeah,
that. The
yeah.
other one is a parking space you only need, can't have more than one. So it's
Yeah,
mostly
and
the
the,
18,
and the
20.
complicated part, or the part that's really gonna be affected is people on water and sewer.
Do you guys have public water
No,
and
we do
sewer?
not,
No,
So basically, the minimum lot size,
yeah,
do you guys have a designated growth area?
no.
Okay.
We have, what's that?
Not a growth area.
Not a
No.
growth
we have
So
area.
you
no
don't-
permits.
We have growth permits,
That's just for new houses.
just
that
for the
come in.
number of
Do you have
houses.
like a comprehensive plan?
No.
No.
Okay.
We did have one 12, 15 years ago, and the town tried to get a committee to update it. They got 2 people, it didn't work out, then they tried again. A past selectman didn't believe what the planning board said they had to do. The committee met, they put together something. They never had a public hearing. I don't know where it is, so the bottom line is, in spite of that committee doing their work, we do not have a comprehensive plan that's been voted by the town.
But you have one from 2010?
It's non-existent at the state level, because I've spoken with a gentleman there, and he said it's like you don't have one, because we don't even have a copy of it, he said.
Okay. Because that's that's one of the like major parts of it is designating a growth area. So that would be huge for 1829, because that makes a big difference.
I
So
don't
we
know.
have to designate a growth area in town.
That's part of the comprehensive planning process.
See, they didn't,
There are exclusions, like the town of Brownfield just did theirs, and they said that they didn't want a growth area, and the state accepted it. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend that.
well, the problem here is that how long does it take to do a comprehensive plan? Think about it, it's 18 months or so, if you started from scratch. So that
1.5
probably.
to 2 years.
Yeah, it won't even get done before 2027.
Right.
Because this wasn't done the way it was supposed to be done.
Yeah, they tried it, and I think the people on the comprehensive plan committee, like, just scattered.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that-
they
That's like
finished it, but it was worthless because that idiot who was the selectman, pardon my, I don't care if they're recorded or not, didn't follow through with what they really had to do and with the
Right.
public hearings that had to be held.
Yeah,
And the town never got to vote on it, and if the town doesn't vote on it, it's non-existent.
right.
That
So-
state law, you have to have a comprehensive plan?
It's recommended that you do one every 10 years.
So it's not law though? Because I thought
It's a little
what happened with that
wishy-washy.
comprehensive plan, the state said that it was an optional deal. That's what finally happened to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we, as planners, highly recommend it.
Okay.
Just so you like plan for your growth and
We-
where
we-
things are gonna go.
Even the one that we had 15 or 18 years ago, to say that it was followed
Yeah,
is
it's just like,
ludicrous.
it
It was a book on a wall and nobody looked
yeah.
at it.
It's supposed to guide your land use ordinances, so you can't really make major changes if it's not consistent with your comp plan.
We've had,
What is the value of a growth area?
It
Is it
designates
post?
where you'd like most of your residential growth to occur.
well, we've already got
You can have,
that.
we have growth areas
Yeah.
all over Limington.
We've got a residential zone, a commercial zone, a village zone, a shoreline zone. We have zones, and we have a land use chart that allows whatever uses in those zones, and whether you have to come before the planning board for a conditional use permit, or whether the code enforcement officer, or whether you can't do certain things in some zones.
It would just like further guide that to where you want your town to grow. Not based on your zoning ordinance, based on your comp plan. So it would say like, that's where you can cap, well, you can't cap it anymore, but it's where you would want to guide like the most of your growth and where you'd want to preserve most of your open space, basically.
We don't basically
don't-
have any.
we don't do that.
Okay.
We
You
don't-
can build any way you want.
Yeah, as long as it meets the qualifications for the zone you're going in.
So, okay.
So-
maybe,
And
So would
there's
it-
not like a lot of land left over. I mean, we have thousands of acres that are vacant, but people gotta sell that land for anybody to build there, so,
Yeah.
you know, that's probably the biggest issue in the town.
So do growth areas typically go along the major routes?
generally, we see them in like your traditional downtown area,
Okay.
or where school is,
Okay.
major intersection. It depends on the community.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like if you
This-
think about like Freiburg, like
Uh-huh.
We
their
do
growth
not
area,
have anything like Freiburg.
not yet. Doesn't mean it won't
With
change.
the land that's there, it's.
If we had to vote on that at town meeting with a growth area, that would not go through in this town.
I don't think so either. I think they
Why-
like it.
why?
Because there was nobody, there's no landowners, larger landowners in Limington that would be for that, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
To just designate their land as a growth area.
yeah.
Even if it was in a dense area,
But what if they don't want to sell it? What good is it?
it's just like you're planning for the future. So like say, there's an influx of residents.
But if
You
they
would-
don't
you
want to
would-
sell it, what good is the growth area? That's what I'm talking about. These people, these large tracts of land, it's never gonna get sold in this town, as long as they hand it off like they have been. You know, like you just said, Chris, they're not gonna get sold.
Nobody wants to sell them.
No.
That is true.
This is a very small town, a little
Yep.
over 4,000. The people who come to town meeting are, well, they used to be, and probably to a large degree still are, the townies, the people who have
Yep.
lived here for a long time. We're getting a few new ones, but not that many. And they're reluctant to change,
Yeah,
very
so
reluctant.
they must really not like 1829.
I would say that's probably reasonable.
I would think most of the town don't even have an idea what that is.
I think you're totally right. I mean,
They have no
Until
idea.
they have to vote on it and.
but even then, they don't really read it.
No,
No.
but if
But
they.
I would bet money that this may not pass.
Yeah.
But it's
But
gonna
if-
be law anyway,
It's
so
law anyway.
so it's kind of a waste of time to even
That's,
do it.
that's sort of how we're dealing with it, is that it's a fait accompli, but our zoning ordinance should still reflect it if it's going to be state law.
Could
Right.
we have a statement in our book that it's like, it's under this umbrella, the growth area is defined by our zones, meaning everything's already there.
It
and
doesn't
just-
sound like you have a growth area,
don't.
so.
No,
Not, not
I
the way you
mean,
define
we
it.
do
But
not.
but you also said our zones are all defined, and so can that be, can that go under?
Can that qualify as a,
It can't.
No,
You
No,
can't do it
growth
that
area is
way.
defined in your comprehensive plan that's approved by the state.
I mean, even in a city, they can't make you sell that land, or can they? I mean, that sounds like we're really going over the.
yeah,
It's not
The
about
edge.
selling the land, it's about designating an area to accept more growth.
So
So
you
if that
sort of
land-
have to get together with the owners and everything to see if they were for it.
well, that would be where town meeting would
That would
come
be the
in.
town, not the property.
Well, no, I'm talking about the actual owner of the land.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't- What's it good to designate 100 acres if the guy won't sell the land?
yeah, but he's not gonna live forever, that, what are his kids gonna do, or whatever,
Yeah,
you know, whoever he's.
Well,
gonna-
then that's a different day, but
Yeah,
then there
right,
won't be any
exactly.
growth then,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
growth.
yeah.
So how can you be better than have the whole town a growth area? Because right now it really is.
Mm. In a loosely defined way, you're
Right.
absolutely right, yeah.
but it's not technically, so that would be more impactful if the whole town was a growth area for 1829. Because then your minimum lot size would have to be 20,000 square feet,
You know. Well, it's more than that now.
Yeah,
much more.
yeah.
I guess the major change for 1829 here would be that all areas that allow residential uses must allow 3 units on a lot. That's a state requirement now. Doesn't mean that folks are gonna be knocking on the door to do it, because clearly they haven't even done 2.
Well, they've done no accessory dwellings.
That's not counted as a unit, though.
Right.
So,
So that's what most of them are doing, not 2 houses. I haven't seen 2 houses on any lot yet.
yeah, so now it's 3, on every lot that allows
But
residential.
dependent upon whether they can get a septic
Yep.
system and water.
Meet the setbacks that are
And-
currently on the town, right?
Yep, so it's setbacks and, everything's based on sewer and water.
3 plus the one that's there, so for 4.
3 total,
3 total?
yep, plus,
I thought you were gonna have 4, a subdivision could be 4.
I thought that's what it said
that's,
in here.
that's a
too.
separate, we'll get there.
Okay.
But it's, so the minimum units per lot, the requirement will be 3 units per lot, in all areas that allow residential
Okay.
uses, which sounds like it might be everywhere.
When you talk a lot, our lots are 3 acres, so that would be 3 to that 3 acres.
Yep,
Okay.
or any lot though.
Well, you're not gonna
If
get
you can fit it.
20,000 square feet in this town.
Yeah, you ain't gonna.
Ain't gonna happen.
So
Barely get
in our
one.
land use chart, this is it.
Not with a well and septic.
Right.
Have you had the opportunity to look at, like, to look at the land use table
No.
in the town? Okay. That would probably be very helpful, like as in, principal structures, non-residential for education, scientific, and interpretation purposes. Anyway, they can go anywhere with the planning board. Multifamily dwellings are not allowed in the resource conservation, they're not allowed in the shoreline zone, and they're not allowed on the aquifer. And then there's some of them, one of them in the commercial, they can do it with the code enforcement, and the other in residential and village. They have, in those instances, they have to do it with a conditional use
You
permit.
can have a
from the
house in
planning
Acton
board.
if you have 3 acres, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, but I'm talking
Oh.
about.
She was talking about multi-use,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now-
you could have 3 acres to have a house, but you could have a multi-unit with less than 3 acres. Makes no sense to me.
That's why I think we maybe need to have, excuse me, I have to get a tissue. Maybe it's why we need to have you set up, maybe dig a little deeper into what you see in here and what you don't see, and set up a plan that has a fee associated with it, because we can't spend the money until it's approved. Oh my God, that's another thing, we can't spend the money until it's approved by town meeting
When's your town meeting?
in March, and the warrant's already been closed as far as submitting anything, so it would have to be
Next year.
in this, no, it would have to be in the special town meeting in June,
Okay.
where they usually have the school budget. And so it can be done, it just won't get done in March. But it seems to me that we're just going to be tossing back and forth here, maybe wasting everybody's time if we don't have a plan.
Yeah, so we can.
And the plan would come from you after you review our ordinance as to what you think, that this is what we're interested, if I'm right and if I'm not, they'll correct me. We're interested in what changes have to be made in the land use table and in the language
Yep.
of the ordinance to comply with,
18, 20, about
18,
for all.
yeah, or whatever sections of the state law.
So for us, it would be, the scope of work would include that review,
Mm-hmm,
the changes.
yep.
And how many meetings do you think would be?
I guess it depends upon how many changes. With us, basically, you come in and you say, you're a town of little over 4,000, you don't have water, you don't have sewer, this doesn't apply, this does apply, these are the changes you need to make in your language, and particularly your
Do you think it would
language
be one meeting with the planning board?
chart. It was.
2, 5?
No, it wouldn't be 5. no.
It's just, that goes in the fee, like,
Yeah.
we have to pay people.
Let's say 2.
2 meetings?
Do you think? Would you think enough?
Two,
What do you
I think.
Laura?
I think
Pretty
two's a
easy.
great place to
Yeah, because you'd come
start.
in, tell us
And
what you think, and then if we have more questions and need to tweak it, we have another meeting.
If we have to have more, that's
Right.
fine, but I would say 2 is a
Yeah.
good starting point.
But, and in the meantime, if it's possible, Jamal, if you, once you've put your ideas and information together, if you could send that to us,
Yep.
and then we can review it, and then we could have a meaningful conversation back and forth. Our questions might be why, and yours will say because. But the thing is that we don't have the comp plan. Now, if that's a mandatory thing, which I don't think it is, we are in deep trouble.
You don't
Because-
need the comp plan to make these changes.
Okay.
It's just, if you had a designated growth area,
Yeah.
it would mean more changes.
Okay, when we don't have a designated growth
Yeah.
area.
The whole
And-
town
And so do we
doesn't
have
area.
to apply to the state and say, could we be excused from having to have a growth area like Brownfield did?
They just updated their comprehensive
Okay.
plan, so that's that
I
process.
see, okay,
And there's like a criteria for not needing one.
all right.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think you should direct your growth into certain areas.
Well,
But
what's the advantage to that? If your whole
Yeah.
town, you can grow, if you can have growth in the whole town, what's the point of designating it to one area?
And we have a lot of aquifer area.
I mean,
in
that means
town.
that you could put like a 100-unit subdivision on Sawyer Mountain. if you're not designating it somewhere, if it's privately owned. So it's designating it where you want people to live, and where you don't want them to live.
Yeah.
I understand that, but you have to be able to have the land available.
Yeah, but.
So in other words, there'll be, if you designated an area that was 400 acres in town for growth, or 100 acres, if they didn't want to sell the land, there never would be any growth.
That's right,
Correct.
that's absolutely true. Yeah.
So, and I have another question. This is pretty self-explanatory. I took this online. Why couldn't this be a subsection
Of what?
Of the ordinance.
of our plan, of our ordinance?
I haven't looked at it, so I'm
Oh.
not sure where it'll fit in.
I just wondered why it wouldn't be. In other words, people come to do something and we have a subsection that tells us what we need to do to meet the state requirements. But I'm not against putting it in there, I'm just,
Yeah, I think it needs to be, but because the ordinance goes, well, this could go online too, but I think just so everybody's on the same page, it's best, in my personal opinion, to have whatever we need to have in the ordinance.
It'd make it like
Yeah.
a little more consistent.
Yeah,
There's been some talk at the state about, you know how they provide like shoreline zoning templates and floodplain? There's been some talk at the state about doing like a housing ordinance, or like the basic requirements.
For the shoreline zone?
It would be for housing, because they're doing all this new housing legislation, which they've never done before, between LD 2003, 1829. That way it'd be more like a repeal and replace process, rather than like going within each little section of your ordinance and.
I'll make an ordinance for everybody.
Yeah, like
So it would be a
okay.
statewide
there's been some
ordinance,
talk about
basically.
that, but they, they move very slowly.
I mean,
Except for this.
Because
That would be pretty complicated.
it would be because of all the different variables in small towns, large towns.
Right.
Ones with public water, ones with public
They'd have to do,
sewer,
like,
and all
different
that.
versions.
Yeah, exactly, so,
But we
Yeah.
thought, initially I was like, that's a really good idea. Like, why not? Where, like, it would make things a lot easier in terms of like, that way, like with shoreline zoning, you don't have to write your own ordinance.
Right.
You just
Right.
like plug and play basically,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
make the little tiny.
yeah.
It's an idea, and I think the state's pretty reluctant.
This doesn't apply to shoreline zone anyway, right?
It's-
I'm not
no,
sure.
it doesn't.
Right.
Shoreline zoning is exempt.
If you allow residential uses, then it applies in the shoreline zone.
I understand that shoreline zoning was left out of it. Shoreline zoning and,
Say, in the rural residential, if it's in shoreline, they have to come before the planning board.
Yeah.
And if it's in the shoreline and commercial, they have to come before the planning board. It is not allowed in special districts or resource conservation in shoreline zone.
yeah, in ours, but I'm pretty sure that when the state passed this, shoreline zoning was left out of it.
That's not how I understand it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
so if it's residential in shoreland zoning, it would have to be allowed to have 3 units on one lot.
As long as it meets other standards, like
Okay,
shoreline
setbacks and
frontage.
that stuff, okay, because none of them would.
Well, right, and,
That's the
and
idea.
Yeah.
like around our pond down there,
Yeah.
that we have no really setbacks necessarily there. I mean, the house has been there since the 40s, 50s, some of
Right.
them.
So they're not
A
conforming.
new
So
one.
they're right, so,
grandfather.
so when they build a new one there, their setback is what was originally there.
Right. Do you want to go
Unless
through
it's
some of
a
the
new
other
law.
changes? or-
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May as well, yeah.
So,
Okay, is this the same book? What page are you on? What,
I'm on on page 6, the only one that really applies is the 3 units per lot.
Is this the omnibus one?
Yep.
Okay.
And then there's some graphics. If you go to page 9,
Wait a minute, go back to omnibus, page 6. Tell us which one.
it'd be the first one
The
only.
first one, this would be Limington?
Yep. If there's no growth area. And there's no water or sewer, right?
Right, correct. Then on
God, I thought
page
there was water
9,
there.
No,
2 houses on a 10,000 square foot lot.
That would be with water. That
And
would be
sewer.
water and sewer.
so on page 9,
Yeah, the qualified affordable housing development, so
Yeah.
they would be allowed for 1 extra story above the zoning limit.
okay.
For ADUs, you're no longer allowed to have owner occupancy standards, so they don't have to live there.
Okay, I don't know that we
In
have that.
either the in either the principal or the ADU.
Okay.
A lot of towns were not happy about that.
I don't think we do that anyway. We don't have that requirement that the
Yeah,
owner.
it's, neither way
Yeah.
is that,
Yeah.
and most people
You're just
do
silent.
live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some folks' concerns was like Airbnb,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, we did.
There's
have
quite a bit of that in
discussion
town right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're not under Airbnb, but there's a lot of rentals.
yeah.
That nobody knows about.
Now, when Standish originally did that, which was years ago, they put extra acreage on there. So you either had to take it out or add the acreage. But my understanding is they went back and they're allowing those units to be rented, so, I don't know.
They're also allowed on multifamily lots as well.
Mhm.
And then, there's some sprinkler changes, which I think we would work on.
Right, yeah.
Cannot require sprinklers and ADUs attached to buildings where the total unit count is 2 or less. I'm not sure why. And then on page 10,
The first one, definitely.
now a subdivision, used to be,
3 lots, minor
Three-
subdivision, yep.
so 3 lots still is, but now it's 5 or more dwelling units is. So say a project comes in of 2 duplexes, that would no longer be subdivision. It would be before, 'cause it used to be 3 or more, but if it's multifamily and not just lots, then it's,
So if someone comes in with a 3-lot subdivision with just single houses on it, that is considered still a minor subdivision that would have to go through the process?
yep. But if someone comes in with a 4-unit project or less,
On a 50-acre lot?
it would not be subdivision.
Right.
No,
The
even, it
planning-
don't even have to be 50-acre lot.
Yeah.
It could be a 3-acre
And the
lot.
planning board can't review it.
Yeah,
It's just code officer.
yep, okay.
So that's a change?
That's a change. It used to be 3 or more lots or units.
No, but this is, the reason I'm asking this, because my understanding was that, like, we've talked about this, you could do a 4-lot subdivision without going for the planning board.
That's
No,
not.
that's not part of it?
You could do 2 duplexes without going through the.
Okay, but
Build
you-
3 or more lots in 5 years. But
Okay.
it's 5 or more
So
dwelling
the
units.
subdivision standards still stand, except for multifamily?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it could be 4 single families
Yeah,
on 1 lot. And that wouldn't be subdivision now. But it would have been before.
Okay, so it has nothing to
these
do
are
with the
di-
lots, it's got to do with how many houses are on them?
yeah.
Okay,
Don't say
It's
this
still the
is-
same for the
Okay.
lots.
all right.
So
okay.
say you have one
Okay.
plot and you divide it
Okay,
twice,
all right,
that's
yep,
subdivision.
okay.
But if you have one lot
Yep.
with 4 houses, it's no longer a subdivision.
Okay.
It's just allowed by
All
right.
right.
Okay.
You still have to go through your
Goes
office.
through me. You'd still have to.
So
go
if we
the
went through a
subdivision
3-lot,
standards,
if we
though,
went
right?
through a 3-lot subdivision, you
The
could
road
put,
would have to be up to specs. You'd have to
Yes,
meet all your
that hasn't
setbacks.
changed.
You'd have, I mean,
Yeah.
you could do it,
It
you'd
just
still
would,
have to be.
it just alleviates it. It's more work for
It's
you.
like a family subdivision, you still have to abide by the
Yeah,
subdivision rules, but
exactly.
you can just give the lots away without having to worry about the subdivision process.
so if I'm on, if in Limington and you're on a private road, you could do 4 lots,
I'm not sure if that's allowed. I
Right.
haven't looked at your standards.
not to road standards, that wouldn't, if it's,
It doesn't change the road standards, the state law. Is that what you're asking?
well, I thought you just said it did.
No, that's what Craig was.
No, you'd still have to, if you had 4 houses on one lot, you'd still have to meet all your setbacks, and the road coming into it would have to meet the
The driveway.
subdivision.
No, oh,
Well, if it's, if it's further off the road, you'd still have to meet the subdivision road standards, right? I
Yep.
mean,
Doesn't change any of
Okay,
You
that.
just have to place
Just the
your
threshold.
houses in the right spot, so you get all your setbacks, and if there's a long
Okay,
driveway
right, so
going in,
they
there's
have
have
to
to meet
have
the
a-
road standards.
okay, gotcha,
So this isn't nearly
yeah.
as cut and dried as it appeared to be.
It's basically the threshold for subdivision. Like it used to be 3 or more units or lots, and now it's 5 or more units or 3 lots.
But
in a
what the
5-year
catch is, if
period.
you have to improve the road, that changes, this whole thing was to create so that it would be cheaper to do. That was my, I mean, that's how I,
If they still have to meet frontage,
Yeah,
like
if
Craig
it
said.
takes away the planning board costs, the soft cost of your application, the time it takes to like come in front of you all. That's what it costs. savings.
public hearing, you know. So it's
Which
really
adds
more,
up.
Yeah, more of it falls on the code enforcement officer for the 4 or 5 dwelling units,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like a growth area. If you had a growth area in town, that would drive that value of that land way up. It wouldn't help reduce the cost of building houses.
It would probably increase the value.
Oh, it would big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can get $100,000 for a 1 acre lot,
And put 4 houses on it.
and put 4 houses on it.
I mean, people still need to like want that, you know, just because you designate something doesn't mean.
That's true. You won't see a lot of it this time.
No.
Yeah,
It's
that's
almost
what
like
we've been telling
creating
people is
little
like,
cults.
that's why I asked about LD 2003, because like a lot of the towns we worked with were really concerned that like the floodgates would open and affordable housing developments would go up everywhere, but I think there's been like 2 in the state that have taken advantage of it. It's still market driven.
Yeah,
They need to make money off of it.
oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people in this town that could add a house anyway that never have.
Right, because they
Because-
don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to, or they really want to know who it is they're adding before they do it, and that doesn't always turn out well.
I think one of the code officers, I think it was, Acton, he was saying that some people were excited because like their kids could build a house on their
Right,
land.
right,
Right.
right.
Because
right.
it's so hard right now.
Right.
For like, for young
Yes.
people to buy a house and stay.
Yeah.
Right, and that makes sense.
I think that was one of the things that,
And that's still $300,000.
Yeah,
Or more.
but at least they don't have to like go find a piece of land, you know. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Like we bought a house in Porter and like, it's overpriced.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so, you know,
The land's worth 25,000, and you spend 80,000 for it.
it's crazy.
Then the houses, I mean, 5 years ago, you
Supply
could
and
build a house
demand.
for 120,000, now it's freaking
Yeah.
280,000.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
It
Yeah,
is.
25 years ago, if the house was priced more than 300,000, you lost 80% of your customers.
Yeah.
So what is it today? I don't know.
You don't
500.
lose any customers at all.
I mean, it's definitely slowed down like in the last few years, but yeah.
Well, it's bringing in a lot of the people from Massachusetts
Yep.
that can afford it, because they
Right.
can't afford places down there
I
anymore.
was talking to a realtor the other day who's been around a long time, and they sold 9 units last month, and they were all out of state.
Uh-huh,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like remote work now.
right.
You know, you can work
Right.
from almost anywhere.
And of the 9 they sold to, 5 will only use it for
Part of the year.
part of the year.
Mhm. Which creates a lot of empty housing, which is what this is trying to get away from.
Right.
So,
I mean, we can't fix everything.
we
Right,
can't, no,
exactly.
no, we can't fix how the pricing has
Well,
gone.
isn't there, I believe I was reading someplace, I forget what state it is, where they want an empty house law.
Yeah,
Mm.
That'd be pretty scary.
Mm.
Seems
If
like
you
a
only
lot.
live there half the year, then you'd have to pay twice on your property
Or-
taxes or
Or
something.
or basically, you can't have it.
They won't let you even have it, but they'll
It
let
should be made available to somebody, is what they're saying. But I don't think they'll ever get that put through,
Yeah,
but
that seems, that's the.
that really crosses the line.
So,
Yeah. It
we're back,
does.
we're back to page 10, the
Yeah.
very bottom one about the training.
Yep.
Do you run these training sessions? Would it be possible to set up, like, for the board to come to a training session?
We come to you.
Or you
Okay.
come to us?
We have a set cost of $1,000.
All right, we need to do that.
The one thing, so the language is really vague about what the training is.
yeah.
But we did one in Newfield, and we're doing one in Biddeford this month. So we pretty much have the program like set, we just have to tweak it to the ordinances.
Well, we don't need to do it right away.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can,
That's good.
we're available anytime to do
Don't we
that.
have to do something before the June town meeting?
No, what we have to do for the June town meeting is they have to get to us what the plan is gonna cost us, and we have to ask the town
If they
for the
want to start
money
that.
to implement the plan, then they'll come back, and then we'll work
Well,
out what
the
changes.
town really ain't got no choice, do they?
I don't
Well,
think they should.
don't, but you never know with this town meeting, Craig, what they're gonna do. I mean, you
Well,
know,
if they say
40,
no, then what happens?
That's what I
You
said.
can apply to, there are like I said, there are grants.
but we don't
available.
have a grant writer in town, really.
I thought
Well,
the
the-
selectmen told you to get this done anyway, right?
I don't care
The
what
money
the
doesn't-
selectmen said, we're an elected board. Right, they did, but
Yeah.
they didn't realize that it might be I don't know, let's say a $5,000 fee associated with it. We agreed we'd go ahead with this meeting here, and, you know, and they have paid in the past, but I don't know whether it takes a town meeting vote for them to spend the money I'm not
We
aware.
might be able to just like put it in their budget.
They might be.
I don't know how that works.
Well,
Do
that's.
you have a town manager?
Well, oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
But
we
the
should have already
point
had it
being-
in the budget for the
Yeah.
town meeting this year.
What?
We should have had it in
We
the
should
budget
We
have.
for the
should
town
have,
meeting
but we
this year.
didn't, so we'll do it in June.
But could it come from
But they
a,
got some money that.
that's what I think.
Oh, I
I
don't
think
know.
they should be able to take it from some kind of a reserve, but we need
Yeah.
to
I'll
ask
ask
them.
them,
Right.
yeah.
That's not something we can
Definitely a good
make.
use, I mean, to comply with the
Exactly,
law.
yeah.
I mean,
Pretty
they,
bare minimum.
they
You could take it for
understand-
from any account if you have a special town meeting.
Right.
It'd have to be,
Right.
it could come from any
Yeah.
account.
Would you want, as part
Take
of
it from the
the
planning board.
scope, would you want us to like, do, like a public presentation about it so people know what they're voting on?
I.
Other than us like coming to you and being like, these are the changes, like, would you want like a,
No.
like this, basically?
I hear what you're saying, but I think the way it probably might work better for the, how we function is that if you get the information to us, and then any changes in the zoning ordinance require a public hearing. So if you could come to that public hearing whenever it is.
Okay,
To help
to
clarify
help
the answers
answer
to
any
questions, yeah.
questions that might pop up.
okay.
This has been a lot of help already because
Yeah.
everybody I talked to who's in the building business, including you and I talking, we thought that a subdivision now was gonna be 4.
It's
Lot.
3 lots. still.
Okay, so I mean, the subdivision law stayed the same, it's just allowing
It's
4
changed.
buildings to be on one lot.
4 units, yes.
But I think everybody who read it, including me,
Right. So subdivision's still
So
3
it's
lots, but
it's
you
still
can put
three.
2, 3, 4 houses
On
on
each
each
lot.
lot of the
And
subdivision.
if someone comes in with a 4-unit, like,
Right.
multifamily building, it's
Right.
not a subdivision
Right.
anymore. It still would be site plan review,
right,
or conditional use, or whatever,
It would be?
yeah. But it, or it could be, you don't have to.
That's what would have, that's
But
what
it's
would
not
have to be.
subdivision, so it would have to be,
Yeah,
before
right.
it would have been subdivision and conditional use,
Mm.
so like double the process.
I watched this online, and the lawyer they had there that day, he believed that it wouldn't be a problem until you went to the 5th unit.
Yeah. For subdivision.
That was his,
Right, that's what it is. 4 units or less, and once you hit the 5th unit,
yeah,
that
but we
creates a
just
That creates.
went against that on what we just said. So it's getting, it is getting kind of,
Who is your town attorney, do you know?
Yeah,
It's right there, Bernstein Shore.
Bernstein
Is
Shore.
it Phil Saucier?
No,
Yeah.
I think, is it
Yeah.
Bill? Oh, I got a woman.
She's great.
Well, we have
Mary.
other lawyers in the firm.
Yeah.
That's, Phil is like one of the best in the state, he's great.
Oh, okay.
And anything that we do, like, we'll recommend that Phil or your council reviews it.
Yeah, okay.
Just because, like,
Yeah.
we're not, I'm not an attorney, like, I
Sure.
don't even.
Right, you can suggest something, and they can
Right.
say
We'll write
yes.
the language, like,
Yeah, they'll
we're,
look it over and say.
yeah,
oh,
so sometimes, you know, we didn't go to that.
yeah.
so if somebody comes in and they want to put 4 units on one lot,
They can do
they
it.
still have to come for a conditional use permit?
If it was in a multifamily building, if your ordinance states that.
Yeah, multi-family.
But not if they're single
So
units on a
basically, they're
lot.
just allowing certain things to be on lots, our rules are still intact.
Pretty much.
It's just trying to, like, lessen the process for developers.
To make it quicker,
quicker,
easier,
cheaper.
yeah.
So if somebody came in on a 3-lot subdivision, and they wanted to put 12 units on it, that would go to a large subdivision road standard.
Question,
It would,
would it?
or would
If
it?
it's more than 5 units, or 4 units, yeah, they would count as subdivision. They could do 4 every 5 years,
Yeah,
but that's 15 years and probably not worth it for them.
well, what would really drive the cost up is the cost of the road.
So
What's the next one?
on 10, the dimensional requirements for multiple units, so essentially they have to be the same as a single-family home now. So a lot of towns have, you can do multifamily, but you have to have a 200-foot setback, because we don't want to see it. Now it has to be the same as it is for single-family homes. Same setbacks.
Well, that's the way we do it. Where
Yeah. I think some towns do, like, you need to have like 200 feet of frontage for each unit or something.
we have road frontage.
So that would also
But it says right here, the planning board can't review 4 or fewer residential units within a structure.
Within one building.
Within one building.
Well, if they did if they did 4 units in a subdivision on one lot, we just said we could review it.
That's because they've created a subdivision before doing this. If somebody has, now this is the way I look at it anyway, if somebody owns a lot, let's say I own a 3-acre lot, which is the required in the resident, and I want to put 4 houses on it, I would not have to come to us, I'd have to go to you, and you'd have to be sure that that lot had the,
Met all the setbacks
Met
and
all
the
the
road
setbacks
frontage.
and the road
if it
frontage
had
and
a
everything.
road over 100
Right.
feet, it was up
Yeah,
to subdivision
yeah.
standards and,
yeah.
yeah, for
But
4
if
or
it, but
fewer.
if they have 3 separate lots, they have to come before the planning board for approval for that subdivision. Once they get it, they can put 4 lots on each one of those.
But the
Four
road
houses.
standard, it wouldn't meet the road standards.
Yeah, well, that'd be, yeah, road standards, subdivision road standards, yeah. And they could put 4 or 5 units on each
4
lot.
on each
4 on each lot.
So, okay, so what we're saying is you
Right.
can now do
Yes.
a 3-lot subdivision, and with that road, you can do 12 units.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the way I read it anyway.
Again, like, there would have to be a market for people to wanna
Right.
live on the same
Right.
lot,
Yeah,
you know?
maybe a
I
club.
just think of family,
Yeah.
like if my
Pretty
kids.
much, yeah.
Right.
And then you get to fight and one of them moves, then what do you do?
I wouldn't want some stranger, you know, unless I had a giant lot.
Even if you shared a lot, you'd want to know what you could
Right.
use and what you couldn't
Yeah.
use, so that's
Yeah.
what would cause the
Who's
problem.
gonna pay
Exactly.
what and, yeah. Now, interesting, let's say that this happens, that, well, if it's an approved subdivision, the town would plow the lot, I mean, but if it's a private road and all those subdivisions can't have private roads, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's a local,
Yeah.
that's up to you guys.
Okay.
So that would be enforced.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
I don't think this is meant to change your road
Okay.
standards,
Yeah, yeah.
because each town has their own.
Yeah.
Do you
this
guys
subdivision thing
generally-
is big, because a lot of people in town figured they were gonna get an extra, including me, was gonna get an extra lot without going through a subdivision,
But, you know,
Extra unit.
an extra unit, oh, yeah. But we all sort of.
Yeah, we was thinking that the 4 units was
Right,
4 lots,
no,
not,
Right,
Yeah,
I mean, you could split your house into 4 units, you know, like,
yeah,
Yeah.
somebody could do that,
yeah.
and that would be a lot easier now.
yeah, you could have.
You'd have to upgrade your septic system and
Yeah.
all that stuff, so you may not be able to do it. Some of
Right.
these lots are small.
yeah.
Right, right, it's gonna be in the.
So we have to distinguish in our minds the difference between lots and units.
For this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's the way to look at it. right?
Yep.
It definitely makes it like a little more confusing. I think just having one number was easier to administer, but I think it's just new and we'll get
Yeah.
there.
It's actually much simpler now, because
Hopefully.
it's really about how many units you can have on a lot,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
as opposed to changing a whole lot of other stuff.
All righty, what's next?
I think we got through number 10.
Mhm,
The next one is residential and commercial,
mhm.
which is a lot simpler. Basically,
We do allow, we already comply with the first line, residential unit must be allowed in commercial. We
Okay.
already allow that.
You may limit the number of residential units in a commercial development. They require ground floors to be restricted for commercial. So it sounds like you already do that. We would check
Mhm.
anyway.
I don't, the only thing I know is that we do allow residential units in commercial structures. I don't think we have any limit on the number of residential units in that commercial development, do we? And we don't have that requirement that you require ground floors to be commercially zoned. But, no, I think we pretty much comply with that.
Okay. Then for parking, I mean, these last few are, I don't know, the parking one is already in effect, regardless, so it is, you can't require more than 1 off-street parking space per dwelling unit.
Yeah,
Oh,
but we
it's
don't,
within
but it says within a
growth area.
designated
Yeah,
growth area,
that's
which
true.
we do not have.
The other one is that you must allow a developer to satisfy parking requirements through off-site agreements. So say, like,
With existing parking facilities, which we don't have anywhere right now.
yeah, like say a business wanted to locate next to another business,
They could share a
they
parking
could
garage.
share a parking lot,
A
if
parking
it was
lot.
within a quarter mile.
Okay, okay.
Which I think the idea is to just not add pavement, and we don't need to.
Okay.
And then reporting, we actually just sent out emails yesterday to this. I don't know if you received it.
Yeah, I've already done it.
Did you do the form?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. That's great.
I'm like, why wait?
How was it?
Took about 10 minutes.
Was it easy?
Mhm.
So you have all your building permits?
I got it
and
all in
everything?
spreadsheets, you just
Sweet.
click on it.
So
tell them
that's
what was
really
there.
applies to Craig.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, we just sent out an email yesterday
Is
about
that
this report.
yearly at the same time of year, or they don't know yet?
They don't know yet. This is like the first year.
So it may be like January for the previous years, how it'll work, because that's what they did this time, was for 25, right?
Yeah.
So do it sometime in January or February for the year before.
Yeah, the idea is for the state to understand how many units are being built in each town, because
Makes sense.
they just released a report saying like, we need 80-something thousand units, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm. So that's correct.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's still gonna take that 300 grand to build a house, no matter how many units you put it on there, so.
And then the last one's chickens.
Chickens!
Oh,
Ooh.
chickens.
That's outside chickens, right?
Yes. So it's basically like, you can't prohibit people from keeping them on their residential property.
That
Some of the
will have to
large,
change.
what's that?
We have it in the zoning, we'd have to change that.
We have to,
You prohibit it?
Well, it's supposed to come through the planning board, that there's so many birds that they have, and I believe in this right here, it says, no roosters, right?
No roosters?
oh, it says keeping chickens on their residential, so does chickens include a rooster?
I don't think so.
I thought I read it somewhere that it said no roosters.
I think it's just for like hens.
Okay,
I'll have to double check.
yeah, roosters
It's
in a
for
residential
laying hens
area.
and for meat.
Yeah, but if they're not, if they don't have a rooster, are they gonna lay?
I don't know.
Well, they
know.
can't reproduce.
Right.
They
I
can
actually
lay-
don't really mind roosters.
No, I don't either.
People have, they are near our house, and I,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's always
Well, if
gonna
they're
be
sitting outside
somebody.
your window versus 2 doors down.
Yeah.
The biggest problem in our town is the people that let their chickens run free.
Yeah.
And they go out on the major roads.
can get hit.
Or on the
Yes,
neighbor's
and they
property.
cause lots of traffic issues.
Or go on the neighbor's property,
that
scratch it
too.
up, shit
We
all
have
over
some
the
that
place.
come on our property, on our
Yep.
patio, and I just gently said, I really don't want your chickens there, so when they come up, I'm like scattering
Yeah.
them, and the
Spray 'em
rooster
with
comes after
vinegar.
me,
Oh,
and,
really?
That's what we do.
I have all sorts of-
We have a vinegar spray bottle. We just spray them.
oh, really?
I have all sorts of
How many
turkeys.
chickens do you have, Grace?
We don't have chickens.
Our
Oh,
dog
you
just
don't,
chases
who you
them.
talking, who you
Really?
talking, oh, spraying the
We have a
chickens
little
in the
tiny
road?
dog.
The neighbors'
He loves
chickens that come
chasing.
over, the neighbors' ducks came over too.
I wouldn't
to our
care, but
house.
I don't
You give
want
a squirt in the
chicken
face
poop all
and they-
over our
Uh-huh.
patio.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
come
That's
back
the
after.
Yeah.
issue for me.
We
I mean,
do
you
that,
can-
we do that with a number of animals. I
You
mean,
can
we do
adopt,
that with
like,
our own.
reasonable
If our cats
guidelines,
get
like
on a
setbacks,
counter, we don't want them, we
enclosures.
just,
Yeah.
it
Well,
I
teaches
do
them
think
fast.
our
You know,
ordinances, they have,
I have a problem with turkeys.
Well, it's the
You
pasture
aren't over
that
it.
moves down the hill from us, the one over
I
the
got
church
a
there.
handgun.
We're on friendly
Uh-huh.
terms, so
And I
I
popped
said,
that
if you see me,
around
you know,
those
getting your
turkeys.
chickens down.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, I
And
said, it's fine,
next
as long
time
as
they
they're
came
not
out,
pooping on
I
our
walked outside
patio,
of
then
it.
you'll have
Fair.
to
and
pay.
took off.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't want
You
the
You don't
dog
even have to
to
shoot
dog
it at
pooping
that
on
point,
someone
no.
else's
Right,
land, right?
exactly,
Right,
exactly.
Bob set off a firecracker to discourage
Dare
them.
them to do something about wild turkeys. I have
That'd be
about a
scary, I would
dozen
think.
wild.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Really? You do?
That's cool.
We have
They're
some once in a
beautiful
while.
All right.
All right,
So it
is there
doesn't say
anything-
nothing about roosters on that chicken thing
I'll have to
there?
double check. I don't, this isn't
I
the
thought it said, so you're allowed
Yeah.
to have as many penned up chickens as you want on your property.
Well, you-
Yeah.
Does
But
it
they
say
can't be
penned up?
Free range.
Does it say penned up?
It says that municipalities can adopt reasonable regulations,
Okay.
such as setbacks, enclosures.
And how many you
whatever.
could have on a residential lot as compared to a business, I would think.
And if they're free range or pen.
I don't know if
That's
you
the
can-
biggest
I don't know
thing,
if
I
you can
think.
limit the number. I'll have to look.
Well, if they don't take care of their waste, it ends up stinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stinks like chicken poop.
Well, actually, I'd rather have chickens than a pig. I had a pig a couple doors down,
Oh,
and
God.
Pigs are really
the
good.
pig
Yeah.
pen stunk
Yeah.
I had a
terrible.
neighbor who's a pig.
The only thing they are good for are ticks. They-
Chickens?
Oh, yeah, they take care of the
Very good.
ticks.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, because
Chickens
that,
take care of ticks.
that house
They eat them.
Yeah.
right before Brad Street Lane had a pig, and boy, that
Oh,
pig
really?
smelled.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
anymore, now
Yeah.
we have new owners there, but,
Right. Huh.
All right, so,
Yeah.
A pig's the only animal that will poop on the other end of the pen.
so they're clean.
Well, that's the truth. I raised pigs once. Not a
I mean,
lot, but I had 20.
so that's all.
20
we need.
pigs,
Okay.
wow.
My
Yeah.
daughter had
Are
two,
you,
but.
are you comfortable with what you need to do and what?
Yep, so I think what we'll do is we'll develop a scope
Yep,
and schedule.
Good.
When do you need it by to reach June?
well, I'll ask Patty on the way out and let you know.
Okay.
It could be probably early May, I'm gonna say, but maybe April.
We should be able to have it to
90 days
you.
before, I'll
Okay.
have to ask.
We
Might be April, mid-April.
should be able to have it to you in a few, before March.
Okay,
Oh,
that should be
that's not a
perfect, yeah.
Okay. We're having a baby on April 3rd.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Oh,
So like.
congratulations.
that's
So you're
like-
getting everything done before the
Yeah.
baby? Gotcha.
like-
Do you have other
that's
kids, or
First
We have
one?
is this the first one?
We have a almost 3-year-old.
Okay, nice.
We're in it.
Good.
Congratulations.
It's a different world, man.
Oh, it
Oh,
is.
I love it, but it's challenging.
Yep.
You gotta get some acreage so you can build a house on your property later on, because he's sure
Right.
now in 20 years ain't gonna be able to afford it.
Seriously.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely, yeah, we're like.
You said you bought a piece of property in Porter, what, 2, 3 years ago, or have you had?
We bought a house in Keyser Falls.
Keyser Falls? That probably
Can we
surprised
help
what
you?
you had to pay for that up Keyser Falls.
Can we help you? Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it was,
Come on in.
it was fine, but
About 14 years ago, my daughter bought a lot in Brownfield. And what she paid for that Brownfield, I could have bought all of Brownfield when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
The only time people went to Brownfield when I was a kid was to go to Freiburg Fair.
Yeah.
To drive
To
through.
go
Yeah.
through, yeah.
Brownfield's nice.
It's a great town.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
And
grew
the
up
property's
in
expensive up
Okay.
there now,
You
too.
grew up in Brownfield?
Denmark.
Denmark, he said,
I grew up
yeah.
in Freiburg.
Oh, nice, really?
Yeah. Long time.
I like Freiburg. We actually are thinking about maybe moving there, but houses there are like 500,000.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
It's
sure.
freaking nuts.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure.
why?
My daughter, I went up with my daughter in Brownfield. It's a nice lot, and it's sort of elevated, and you can look down over a valley, but
Mm.
it's nothing great. It was 5 acres, and it was, the lines on it were odd, very odd lines, but it was 5 acres, and there was a septic system and a well on it. The people from out of state were originally gonna build there, then they changed their mind. And it's on a, you gotta go on a dirt road, it's on a dirt road. But it's a nice family lot, right? And, they ended up selling that for $325,000. They didn't buy it, my daughter didn't buy it, but that's what they ended up
So
selling.
5 acre lot
For
for
5
$320.
acres, absurd, huh? And they went out of state about it.
They're like, sweet.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Wow. I
So
guess-
They were willing
I
to
guess
give
we were
200, I
lucky.
wouldn't
We
give
were
200.
very
We,
lucky,
6 years ago, we bought the original parsonage for 155.
yeah.
Wow.
That was
And
right
then
before the
bam,
bubble.
everything went up.
Yeah, that was
We
right
went there
before
just in
it.
Yeah, we
time.
bought like we bought in 22, so
Yeah, you
It's
were
like-
kind of,
it was kind of in the middle
In
of
the
it.
middle of
But we
it.
knew
Right.
like what was
Yeah.
coming and
Yeah.
we were like,
Covert was the worst thing that ever happened to this
Yeah.
country, as
Yeah.
far, for everything. I mean,
Right.
everything changed with Covert.
Everything doubled in price.
it did.
yeah.
Yeah, my son bought in
Thanks,
Bethel
Bob.
in 2020 and lucked out because he got it right before it went up.
Should I send this to you, Joyce?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then
Great.
I'll just forward it. Do you have my email?
Yep. Same one?
CBDB?
Yep.
Yep, never changes.
Thank you, it was very informative.
Yeah,
I think-
thanks for having me.
Well, I think we got, even though it wasn't what I thought we were gonna do today, it's more important and we know now what to expect and what, we have some timeframes that we can work within and.
Yeah, so I think we would, if the money was approved, it'd be June, so then we
Yeah.
would start in the summer.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So I will, tomorrow's Thursday, I will go to the selectmen and let them know that we're gonna be doing this and ask them if they have a special way they wanna pay for it or if they.
Did you say it was just a flat rate of 1,000?
That's
No,
for
No.
the training.
that's
Oh.
what the training.
We haven't, I don't know how
What the-
much,
That's what he's gonna get to us, is how much of
Yeah.
it this will
it's
cost.
just based on hours, basically,
Okay.
that takes us to do.
To change the ordinance stuff or something?
Yeah, between the meetings, the review of the ordinance, and changing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
So, yeah,
all right,
Thanks.
Thank
Taking
you.
paternity leave?
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm taking April off.
You are.
Good.
Good for you.
So if I can meet the setbacks, I could have 4 individual houses on a lot too, right? No,
If you got the
Okay.
road in front of you.
3.
I thought it was 3, yeah,
3.
3, yeah.
With that, not in a growth area. 4 in a growth area.
Okay.
Oh, that's the thing we have to address is.
I thought you could have 4
Come back to
units.
us with a thought on growth.
I thought you could put 4 units on a lot.
That would be through the comprehensive plan process,
But-
so I don't.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm in the village.
In the
I'm
growth
not
area,
in a
you're saying.
Well, that
residential.
whole town's a
Can
growth
I
area.
still put 3 on mine?
Well, it's just gotta be written in the ordinance.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
Nice
meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
I
Jamal.
think that's probably something that will be.
Then I'll have to ask you next time.
Yeah. we'll have to-
What's that?
I live in a village,
Zone.
zone, and
I'm
it's
seeing
only
that I do
2.
too.
Mine's only 2 acres, not 3. Can I still have 3
If you can meet,
units? If I can meet the
Meet the
setbacks?
setback.
yeah.
I mean,
setbacks and
I'm not
setbacks.
really planning to, it's just a hypothetical
Yeah, you just-
question.
If
Well,
you
you
meet
never
setbacks
know
and
if someone
setbacks.
else in that area wants to do something like that, and we need to know that.
Well, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I'm the last one in the village.
So I'm not in the village?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I didn't- I-
She lives just up the road from me, but
Literally up the road.
Nice.
I'm in the village and you're in the residential.
I can do, no, when I say I've got a subdivision, I could figure a subdivision out, all right? Where I could put 4 houses on this lot and get my setbacks. I would still do the subdivision. My question was, I could put 4 individual units on it.
Right, without going through subdivision.
Yep.
But you'd have to meet the
But the
road.
law only allows for 3 on
3.
one lot. The town could allow 10 if they wanted, like that's the minimum. So you could change it to 5 on a lot, like whatever Limington
A
wants.
minimum of 3.
Minimum of 3.
Yeah.
But I doubt. town-
Yeah, without town
Yeah.
town water and sewer.
Yeah.
Okay, right, okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Take care.